Three, two, one. Hey tube, what up? 3, 2, 1. Hey tube, what is up? Jared Flores here with another video. What I want to talk to you about today is the milestone I hit on hitting 100 videos. Thank you guys so much. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me create content on this channel, bringing back this channel alive. I'm going to talk about the brief history about my channel. I started this channel back sometime in June of 2009 with nothing intentionally in mind. It was just a channel to comment on videos and or back then it was considered rate this video between 0 to 5 stars. And that was it. I occasionally, every once in a while, uploaded a video about a technology or something random, but believe it or not, my first video was actually a Mac intro to 10.39 Panther, and that led the video breaking point of me talking about technology. I started back when I was probably around, I was in elementary. I was a 5th grader, 5th or 6th grader at the time, and now I'm going to be a lot older now, obviously, and I just want to let you guys know that I did start from that time, and I always liked about technology. And another interesting fact, I guess I could have been one of the more grown-up, I would have been the more grown audience back in 2009 or 2010, because there wasn't really any technology videos back then. There was only a few that actually started. This was before even Techno Buffalo was a big hit. He started back in 2007, but he wasn't a big known person. He would only get 1,000 to 2,000 views, if any, on that. And now there was a few people who started to grow and prosper back in the year 2000, late 2010, early 2011, and that was it. And now I think I would have had that chance to outgrow, but perfectly right now I am fine. I'm so fortunate for having you guys as the audience. I'm now almost close to 200 subscribers, so that's a great. I wouldn't have never thought would I even hit 200 subscribers, even in my mind. Recently, I did start another channel back in 2012. If you guys heard of it, I don't know. It's somewhat a popular channel, has 500 subscribers. I don't use it as much anymore because I'm trying to focus on my main channel and emphasize JR Flores and get that name out there. But there's another channel called the Tech Reviewers, and I would have collaborators, other technology people, and they would all collaborate onto this channel and talk about technology. It was somewhat of a popular channel, but then I decided I wanted to kill it, and I completely forgot about the years of 2013 and 2012. It was just off my mind. I stopped talking about it, and other people took over, and now I'm thinking of rejoining and using that same type of techniques that I did onto this channel. And another thing I do want to note about this channel, I did name it. Another quote fun fact about technology is the reason why, I don't know if you noticed on the top of the YouTube bar, it says youtube.com/user/WinBookXL3. Well, you guys know what that name means, and what I really made me think about technology and be part of technology and look up to my goals about technology is that name. That name is actually a laptop that's called the WinBook XL3. It's a model number and always stuck into my head. And it was one of the first computers I think it was my second laptop. My uncle actually gave this to me. He was using it for a business, and it was never touched for years. I actually got this in the year, really 2006, 2007, and I used it from there as a groundbreaking point. I did whatever. It was the slowest computer on earth. It ran 300 megahertz, if any. I think it was more around 256. And it had 92 megabytes of RAM, and that was it. It was like really, really slow. But I really liked it because it was my outlet to become a YouTuber. And I started from there. And this company has now deceased by WinBook Corporation. But that thing has still stuck to me. Another thing, I did end up getting another WinBook computer. It's called the WinBook J1. It was given to me by a friend of mine. I was so happy because it was another WinBook, and I did something to it. And I really always wanted a Mac back then, and I couldn't afford it at the time, so I made my own Mac. So I decided to make an iMac, and this WinBook turned into a behemoth type of fake iMac. and it still works today. It runs Windows 7 and Mac OS 10.5. Somewhat very cool. And that's it. And it just still sits there. I was cleaning my room the other day. That was it. Just a little fun fact. But back to you guys. I really do appreciate you guys helping me grow this channel more to what see it become. And this is past 4 to 5 months. I've been great, groundbreaking 4,000, 5,000 views, and I never thought I would hit that. That's basically so much to me. And to let you guys know, there's an outlet I can even talk about technology. Another thing I do want to say before I leave is another person who has greatly, and I don't know how much he has known this, it's another YouTube channel. He talks about the same type of technology that anyone else would, but he does it in a different style. He does this in a way to engage with the audience, with other channels so big can't even do. And he's relatively big, and his YouTube channel name is called TK Tech News. I believe his name is TK. I never knew his real name, but he used to be a hockey player, a former hockey player, and has I believe a gaming business as well, and a gaming development company. And he's basically retired. He talks about technology, and the way he puts it out is so simple. He's like one of the persons I did started to look up to create content. And it was probably sometime around June. This channel was barely started back in early 2013. And I started to slowly put content here and there, and then I got more studying. That's one of the reasons why I did get back into technology. So TK, if you're watching this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me express myself onto the internet and to engage with an audience. And I could care less about the views on what I get. It's just knowing that there's a support and people out there, an audience to grasp and talk about too. And last year I was going through, the last couple of years, I was battling, I still have a lot of conditions with me, health conditions, and that was really bringing my self-esteem down. And with him looking up, I don't know what I would have done. And I really do appreciate TK for you doing this, and with all the things that you've gone through, but with just another person I can relate to, because I sort of had the same thing you didn't have. I didn't have that as progressively, but I did have that when I was smaller, to a smaller extent. And to know that someone gone through that and you're still able to be on the bright side and not depressed or anything about that, that's another thing I like to thank you, and as well an audience there to support you. I don't know how you've gone through it, but you've gone through it, and you're better now, and I'm glad that you're better and you're able to do what you still do today. If you were gone, I don't know what I would have done. Everyone would have been affected. Me, a lot personally, I don't know what I would have done. The person I would look up to is gone, and to now know that you're back in good health and everything, and still producing content, and all that, it's good news to hear. And thank you so much. I don't know how to express this, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Everything you have done, you have basically changed my life upside down, not just in the technology essence, but my whole entire life structure, the way that I live, and everything, because it just opened me out, opened myself out from a shell, and basically that's it. But and much more, I don't know how to express that in words, but thank you so much. Everyone, even the audience, not just TK, but TK was a main person that did help me, but the viewership, the comments, and the good thing about it, yeah, I did get hate comments. Those hate comments mean nothing to me. Yeah, they may affect me for a few 5 to 7 seconds. Yeah, they hurt. But you know what? I do get positive comments, and the comments that I get are mind-blowing. They're great feedback. People tell me I'm awesome, great job. And I wish I had that when I was younger. Back then, when I had a person to talk to, and they would even say it, like friends wouldn't even acknowledge me. Or anything, or just the whole culture dynamic of YouTube, how it has helped me so much to be who I am as a person. I want to thank you so much for everything, you guys, and I have really great videos coming up. I may rebrand my other channels to incorporate into this channel and have a really great spectacular thing. I might be getting a really great studio in the next couple of days, because what I do want to become one day is a journalist or a reporter for a local news channel and talk about technology and have a technology segment. That was one of my big things before anyone even thought of it back then, when there was back in 2000, I think it was 2000, it was in the year 2002, where there wasn't even a show that was called, I guess there was one or two, it's called GBTV or something like that, Tech TV, and that barely started back in the year 2004, and it grew up from there. So it's a lot older back then. I guess I could have been greatly impacted on everything and everything that's been around the wide world of technology. But I do know some people in the local news, because I used to work for another news company that's now defunct and sadly defunct and didn't make it. It's a local one called Coachella Valley Action News, and I did have a 2 to 5 minute technology, a segment on their airings of their online news to talk about technology. I wish I could upload them now to see how you guys could see how I looked 2 years ago. Really, I was a lot younger back then, and talk about technology and the things that I did. It was really awesome. I had a nice little set and everything. I talked about the latest things. I had the latest and greatest technology, and I did about 6 to 7 episodes, and then they filed for lawsuits and bankruptcy, and everything went down there. I'm not allowed to talk about it much into detail, but it went defunct sadly. But it was a starting point for me to start there, and now I have started here, and I hope to do more technology videos and much more for you guys, and stay tuned for so much more content coming up. I'm gonna rechange this channel, and I may be calling it, I'm not sure, I need more advice from you guys. I need to know what you guys think. But what should I call this channel? Should I keep on calling it JR Flores from Winbook XL3, or Hey, I'm JR Flores, or should I be calling it, rebranding it as a name of, like, not a company, but a name that people would be more familiar with, such as JR Flores from Tech Social, or something? Give me a name with something, the word technology or anything. Give me a word. I was thinking Tech Centric or Tech Central. I really was stuck on that name. So let you guys know if I should be calling this Hey, I'm JR Flores from Tech Central, and I will have Tech Central logos and branding everywhere to promote this channel. Let you guys know. Thank you so much. Everything. Goodbye.